People end up riding their emotion until their emotion tells them that they can no longer do it, that they no longer want. I think it's more not that they can't do it. They no longer want to do it because emotion is a want, right? I want something, right? And so that's the problem, I think, with emotion is when you are riding that part, that wave, it's going to crash.
Welcome to Memoirs of a Fitness Trainer podcast. Today, we are talking about emotion going into fitness journeys. That desperation people tend to fall themselves into when weight loss doesn't quite go their way. Is it the desperation that's causing it and the emotion, or is it people are just attacking their weight loss or fitness journey with too much enthusiasm? Today, me and Aaron Saltzman are going into that very topic. Aaron, how the hell are you, sir?
What's going on, guys? I'm doing great. Things are great. Business doing well. I'm really excited about this topic, honestly, because I think we see this in fitness over the top. I think people bite off a lot more than they can chew first, and then they drag too much emotion in it. As somebody that's been in it for so long, I think we realize that emotions should not and is not always the driver. Sometimes you have to be in the driving seat, and you just have to show up and put the emotion portion aside.
I agree with that, man. People, I get, like, because weight loss is always inspired by emotion, fitness. I want to bench 500 pounds, whatever your thing is. I think all of it gets inspired by that emotion. Walking into it without emotion is, that just sounds a little bit like a fool's errand in my book, but.
Correct.
I hear what you're saying.
I think emotion is the driver in the beginning, and then comes planning and executing. Right. And so I think once you have the plan together, it's all about execution and less so about emotion driven. And I think that's a problem because when people drive off of emotions too much, that's too up and down. We know that, I mean, we are all very emotional beings, and, you know, knowing Ryan for so long, you know that he's got his emotional little strings and, not just kidding. So I think
I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm pretty unemotional. Have I not been playing that card well? Shit.
No, I think we all have emotions attached to us, and emotions run wild depending on the day, depending on your mood, depending on your fucking hormones, whatever you're going through in life. So I think to allow something so important and so delicate to your success and to your health to run off of that is a damn shame. And I think something that really needs to be well thought about within the aspects of reaching your goal.
Right? How many people have you worked with over the years that walk into their journey ready to change everything all at once, like just completely do a 180 on their life, and you're like, dude, how long have you been trying to lose weight? 20 years. How much weight have you lost? None.
That's it.
What? We're not going to change everything all at once, my guy. Like,
yeah, you know, that's actually 100% what I'm dealing with a client like that. Literally, as we speak, he just started, and you know, he used to be an athlete, and he used to be in shape, and he unfortunately has let the last 20 years get the best of him, and very out of shape at this point. And you know, he's trying to bite it all off, right? He's like, I want to get right back to where I was at, right? It's that emotion of like, I want to live the way I used to live, or I want to do things the way I used to do it. So he has this emotional attachment to that he has to let go of, because if he doesn't, he's going to obviously, but he's not in his 20s anymore. Like, he's going to bite off way more than he can chew. He's trying to add in parts of into his program that he is so not prepared for. And so it's going to get to a point where he's going to obviously understand this and hit a wall and quit. And, you know, I think that's the problem here is emotion runs into the wall of quitting, right? So people end up riding their emotion until their emotion tells them that they can no longer do it, that they no longer want. I think it's more not that they can't do it. They no longer want to do it because emotion is a want, right? I want something, right? And so that's the problem, I think, with emotion is when you are riding that part, that wave, it's going to crash.
It always ends. Yeah, you hit that point where, all right, the pain and discomfort supersede your want. And I think one of the things people don't really think about is like, let's use weight loss as the example. Well, as you lose weight, well, the need to lose weight gets less. Like your motivation, that emotion to get somewhere, well, it started out being that you were 40 pounds from your goal, and man, you needed to lose weight. Well, now you're 30, then you're 20, now you're 10. Well, each 10 pounds down, it's not motivating you more. You're not like getting closer going, yeah, I'm going to do this. It's, I actually look pretty good right now. I mean, it's not what I want, but
that's very true.
I don't need to lose weight like I used to.
Right. Before it was like, oh my God, my doctor said I'm going to fucking die if I don't take off this 50 pounds. Right. Now you're only 20 pounds away, and it's more so it's not a necessity. It's a desire. right?
Oh, yeah.
And that emotion is the desire. And, you know, I also think that when it comes to a journey like this, it's a very long journey that is going to take a very long time. Like, I spoke about this just the other day. Like, when you are on a weight loss journey and you look at yourself in the mirror, okay, you see the amount of weight you want to lose. You go to the gym, you come home, you look yourself in the mirror, nothing's changed, right? A week goes by, same thing. You look in the mirror, nothing's changed. Well, if you're riding blatantly or just on emotion, you're going to drive yourself wild during this phase, right? This phase of not seeing any drastic change. And so we know it takes, months to see any drastic change, if not years, if you're really on that big of a weight loss goal. And so emotion's not going to hang on that long. And so I really think emotion in our industry, it needs to die. Yes, it can get you in the door and can get you motivated, but you really have to be all in, and it needs to become more of a discipline than it is an emotion.
So I agree with that. And you think about it in terms of not just even like seeing progress. I mean, you think someone that has like 100 pounds to lose, 20 pounds down, that guy barely sees a change. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, my pants fit a little different. I think I had to go down a couple belt loops, but when you have large sums of weight to lose, you're not 30 pounds away from being close to your goal. It's such a long-term thing, and if you rely on this subjective right here, right now emotion, you're just going to lose 20 pounds, get disheartened, and then put 20 pounds back on, and then get more disheartened.
That's it.
And usually go past the 20 pounds.
That's it. And I think in my line of success in everything I've done, we're talking fitness, we're talking business, we're talking anything, it is allowing yourself to make this a lifestyle and make it just a part of your everyday. And it's not the sexy stuff that's going to get you there, right? It doesn't feel like you're going through this sexy journey and, you're seeing all this crazy stuff that you see on social media where all of a sudden this dude's 100 pounds of weight lost into a six-pack, right? Like, that's pulling on your emotional strings. In reality, it's the unsexy shit. It's waking up, dedicating your day to making sure that you do everything necessary, from what you're going to eat to going to the gym to this is a fucking tough one for so many people. Going to fucking bed on time. Like, getting sleep.
Dude, that's my hard one.
Yeah, like,
that's so hard.
Getting sleep and letting your body, recover, but then allow your body, so you're good to go the next day, and then also allow your body to develop the hormones necessary to keep your weight loss down. Like, these are the things that win when it comes to a weight loss journey or any type of physical journey. It's the things that are not sexy and will not make your emotional roller coaster go up and down, right? You're on a fucking boring ass roller coaster.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah. There it is.
I'm like, unsexy. It's close. We're getting there.
Yep, there it is, man. It's a boring ass roller coaster. It's like you're going on a little fucking kiddie ride, and all the roller coaster does a little choo-choo train. It's just going slow, and it's just around. Instead of this big sexy roller coaster up and down full of emotions, you're on the wrong.
Dude, that's a great analogy, though. I mean, I think weight loss where people actually get to where they're going is that slow train. It's that kiddie coaster that's just going in that direction. Yeah, that's being on a small world ride. Mm-hmm. It's a small world after all that. It's not fun. Yeah, the other thing looks really exciting, but it's just going in circles, going 80 miles an hour, and yeah, it's exciting, but it's just going around in a circle. You lose a little bit of weight, put a lot of weight back on. A little bit of weight, a lot of weight back on.
That's exactly it. And so that's why you want to stay away from this, metaphorical emotional roller coaster, because yes, you will, think about being on a fucking a roller coaster like that, man. If it's on for too long, I want the fuck off. I'm going to throw up. You know what I mean? Like, this is too much for me. Like, this is exactly how it is. It's going to be too much for you to handle, and you're metaphorically going to throw up and give in the towel. And so it is really important to stay with it for the long haul and follow people who are going to give you that form of motivation and drive. Follow people who are going to be honest with you. Follow coaches that are going to tell you that it's the unsexy work that's not going to get you there. Because as coaches, we can play the emotional roller coaster as well. You see so many coaches, 3-month program, I'll get you 6-pack abs, right? We're playing on people's emotions, right?
I was just thinking that. It's that difference of, we were talking about before, why emotions and sales don't do a good job together.
Yeah.
Well, if you sold someone on emotions and then you're expecting them to walk into their journey now, and hey, now don't be emotional. I know I just told you were going to have a heart attack in 3 months.
Correct.
But, now I need you to be calm and patient.
Exactly.
Like, whoa.
It's like,
what are we selling
It's like,
here?
you need this product right now, immediately. but it's going to take 6 to 9 months for it to even have a take on your body, right? So it's like, I get like the start now, but how about we just come at it at stop pulling on people's emotional strings and just be real. Like, that's the miss here, especially with social media. It's like, you're seeing everybody's highlight reel. So you're seeing, yes, you are seeing real transformations on social media, but you're seeing them within a 20-second clip. Right. And so it makes you really believe that these things can be done in such an instant gratification kind of situation. And that's the problem, is everything these days is instant gratification. Right. Nothing no more is the slow roll of success. And that's the problem right now. It's like, in so many different aspects, is people want things right away. They're not going to receive them, and they're going to quit. And we're not going to see, in my opinion, as many successful people in avenues that they're chasing, because it's fucking hard, dude. It's all hard work.
So hard.
Losing weight, a journey of weight loss, is fucking hard. It's tedious, is very much so tough on your confidence. Like, it's going to be an up and down, in a sense, a roller coaster. So you got to take it slow.
That, oh my God. A little while ago, it's maybe year and a half ago, I worked with these two sisters. I worked with one, I think they're older, in their like late 40s, early 50s kind of deal. I worked with one for about 4 or 5 months, and then I worked with her sister after the fact. I think we got both of them down a little over 30 pounds. Right. The first one was the most emotional person I'd ever worked with. I really honestly believe that, walking in. Just everything was some nightmare. Everything was some like, oh my God, the world's burning down around me. Mm-hmm. Like that kind of person. Mm-hmm. And it took her, I think, about 8 or 9 months to lose the 30 pounds, which is, I mean, it's not terrible, but that's definitely a little on the slower side. Yeah. Well, her sister got to watch her, older sister give a master class on, how to watch the world burn when it's not burning. And she walked in going, I'm not going to do anything that my sister did. I'm just going to listen to my coach. Lost 30 pounds in like three months and change. Yeah. Yep. And it's just like, she didn't make as many mistakes, didn't have as many kind of fallouts where would walk into the weekend and just spend her weekend on the couch, losing her mind because the scale's up half a pound. That was my next go-to off of what you're saying here, is don't overanalyze it. Don't stop overthinking it. When it comes to weight loss, when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to what workouts you should be, just stop overthinking it. Like, yes, if you want to hire a coach, absolutely, right? Because they'll take out that guessing work for you. But stop overthinking it and stop listening to all of the media out there that's pulling on those emotional strings and telling you have to do it this way, or a keto diet is the only way, right? Like, just stop overanalyzing it and get to work. Like, that's it. It's that simple. Like, get to work, and the word, I think, instead of emotion, is focus, right? Ooh. I think that's it. I think that's the change, is instead of riding the emotions, you focus, right? You focus in on what you need to focus in on, and that's it. Like, it doesn't have to be any more than that. Unfortunately, yeah, like you mentioned, the whole reason for this podcast is there's so many people out there that are just on this emotional train, then they burn out, and then they go back and they go forth. And, we see it as coaches with our clients. We see some clients that can actually focus and see results, and we see some people that are just out of control, and we know it right away that they're going to have a hard time until they can change that mindset. But how do we coach that in our clients, right? Because obviously don't sell on fear and emotion, because that just leads immediately into the fear and emotion running your training program. That's like the easy one. Yeah. But do we do this with a pep talk? I mean, do you have a system at all for breaking that down? Somewhat. So I make sure I reiterate it every single session, right? Every time I see this person, we are talking about, one, where they're at, still the goal, the next goal, right? Not the ultimate goal, the next goal in sight. And then I'm making sure I'm reminding them about how this journey goes, right? That it's not a simple over the next week kind of journey. Like, we're in this for the long haul. But I just make sure that I keep on instilling in them what the goal is and, what's the next step. Instead of, hey, we want that 50-pound loss. Well, okay, how about let's focus on an in-body of losing 2% body fat, and let's celebrate that win, and let's move on to the next win and the next win. Because all these minuscule small wins will eventually get them to that big goal without the emotion of, oh my God, I still want to lose 98 pounds, right? Like, it's like, so that's kind of what I do with my clientele. And then I build them a program. It's my decision.
right? I'm the program designer. I build them a program that I know that they're going to follow, that they can follow. And this differs completely from client to client, right? Some clients, whenever I am introduced to them, I can already tell there's no way in hell they're going to follow the format that I have, Joe doing, right? Like, there's just no way. They're going to burn out. They're going to quit. So I think as a coach, that's where the tailorization comes in, is you're not only tailorizing based off of their goal, you're tailorizing based off of who they are as a person, their mentality, their inability to have discipline or lack thereof.
Is tailorization a word?
I'm saying yes. I believe you. I'm going to have our so-and-so up top let us know about that, but I am going to...
Is this Tyler or Tommy? Names are hard. I understand that.
We're talking Tommy. I'm going to have my boy Tommy check this in, and we will get back to you. But I am saying tailorization, if it's not a word, it sounds very, very...
That's probably a word. I'm just giving you shit.
It sounds very sexy if it's not. Tailorization.
That's what you drop on that first date? I'm about to tailorize everything. God.
Sure.
I like that, though. The building things as a mindset, the future, the building the vision, rolling into things. I'm a big fan of building the vision. I think that's the most slept on client adherence thing to cut down on attrition, clients leaving you.
Yeah.
Just build the vision and let them know what's coming.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this single leg squat? Well, it's going to help us go do X, Y, and Z later.
Correct.
And just building it. And I think that's so clutch.
I just think programming is huge. I think just as important is knowing your audience. Just like if you're creating your own program, if you're going to the gym by yourself, know yourself, right? Like, know what you're capable of, what you're not capable of, what's going to be too much for you, what's not going to be too much for you. As coaches, it's our job to know that about our incoming clients. I get to know this person on a deep level. Like, what success have you not had? Why have you not had that success? Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a client tell me the other day, like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do anything by myself. Okay, well, there's already a note right there for me that if I'm going to set this person up for success, at the moment, I'm not going to have them do anything by themselves until I can instill that into them and break that through that discipline wall. But I think just knowing your audience is crucial to help building a successful program for people to not burn out and quit.
Little sidebar. You ever spend a bunch of time building a program for someone to have them take one look at it and go, I'm never not training without you.
I'm never not training without you, or never training with you?
Yeah, as in they won't do anything on their own, so you just spend all this time building a program out.
Yeah.
I did for an ultra marathoner once. It was an unnecessary amount of time that I blocked for her too. It was like something like 12 or 14 weeks.
And she said she would only train with you, not without you?
Yeah. It was literally just, hey, here's your master plan. I'm thinking we're about to go set a new world record. And she looks one look at it and goes, I'm only ever training with you in person.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is a bigger benefit. The hard thing is when you write these programs out and the job ain't getting done. The results aren't showing up. You know what I mean? This happens to me quite a lot.
Every coach.
Yeah, it's like
you write the greatest plan in the world and then execution.
Correct.
That had to happen.
Correct. And exactly. The execution is the part that they're not doing and that they failed to hold their end of the agreement. But again, that is where we assess before design. Assess what these people are capable of at the moment. Maybe later on they're capable of achieving those things and doing more time in on their own, but they came to you probably for a reason. But yeah, this goes both ways. This goes for people that are with a coach and for people not with a coach. Just don't bite off more than you can chew, because you will end up folding and you will end up quitting, and you're going to have to start this process all over again and again.
I love that. So this is something I was thinking about, because I'm trying to think, like, what are some practical things that we could send people away to avoid this emotional distress that people get into at the beginning of their workouts. I was thinking, we just recently had a lovely girl named Emily that just crossed 100 pounds down with us. And one of the things that she has clinical binge eating disorder, it's a whole thing. And we've had to take her process kind of in phases, down 20 pounds. And then she's had to maintain for a while, come back up 4 or 5 pounds, and go back down. And it's kind of been this like long, drawn-out thing that's taken us about 3 years to do. Well, I'm thinking, what if, as trainers, we were to take clients almost like case studies? And like we have somebody come in and, all right, well, so this is what a process might look like. and you show them the 100 pounds down girl, or you show that the guy that lost 40 pounds but took 6 months, and just giving people a realistic expectation of the scale's going to go up some days. That's all right. See this week here where the scale went up? Oh, yeah, it was Christmas. He went and had fun with his family. Of course the scale went up.
I see.
And to just kind of normalize everything a little bit.
Yeah, I love the idea of like a full, drawn-out success program like that, to where people see the wins, they see the losses, they see the phases, they see the plateaus, they see what eventually would detour them away from continuing. So like, for instance, that 4 or 5 pound gain, a lot of people at that point, emotions riding crazy, they're
freak out.
They're gonna freak out and quit, or go on some crazy fad diet to lose those 5 or 6 pounds real quick. So absolutely.
Remember celery juice?
Yeah. Oh my God, man, dude, there was so much shit out. Like, I mean, we're gonna get into a lot more topic on these in a new episode, but man, there's just so many out there that I'm so blown away by that.
They keep going away, and then a new one comes to fill its place, and no one questions anything. Yeah. It's like, but what about the other one that was all the hype?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, crash diet.
Yeah, so
as we were.
So I just think that, I think a program, some outline like that is, like you said, is a case study. It just gives people also, it's really nice to see the journey from a perspective of what you're going through at the time. Right? Because what everybody gets, whenever somebody's emotions run high, it's usually based out of fear or lack thereof knowledge, right? Like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if I'm going to see this weight loss. Fear runs emotions wild. And so if they see that through your case study that there is evidence of proof of somebody that's been through their journey, they're walking their footsteps step by step, it's a great format on keeping those fears at bay.
Dude, I like that. I like the idea of it. And that'd be a cool thing to see more trainers collab on. Because like those 100-pound weight loss stories. I mean, I think we've got like 3 or only 2. It's like doing things like that and showing, say, like a catalog of like, hey, this is what this person went through. Because even though I might have my method, you might have yours, and different variations in there, right? For the most part, everyone's going to have the scale go up some days, down other days. They're going to have good workout weeks, bad workout weeks. They crushed last month's diet, then this month they, Haagen-Dazs was cool. And there's always this kind of iteration that every client kind of goes through that we see. I mean, we can zoom back and look like, oh, everyone goes through this same thing eventually. I think that would just be so powerful.
Yeah.
A website or something.
I agree, man. I think that could be really strong. And, to be honest, with like AI tools these days, I'm sure it could be put together super simple. But I think it's a really, really strong idea, because reflection on where that client is at the moment is what's going to keep them from running their emotions wild. Reflection on, am I the only one feeling this way? Or am I the only one that has put this weight on? Or am I the only one who fucking binged ate at the Super Bowl? I don't know. Like, I just like to have a record of all those things when going through your journey. It just makes you feel not alone. And once again, when you're not alone, there's less fear. When there's less fear, there's less emotion. When there's less emotion, you're going to fucking stick through the program, and you're going to see the results that you ultimately wanted to see in the beginning. So, I think it could be a really cool idea.
Love that, man. That was a mouthful. You got that one out there. I see that. You're like,
one breath,
I got
dude.
this. I got this.
One breath.
Yeah, I know. That was a oneer. That was good. Shit, that's funny, man. I think we're kind of speaking the same language, and we're beating a dead horse at this point. I mean, what do we do though? Let's just say, not for coaches, just some general advice for like the average person. That's kind of how we've been phrasing a lot of this, is just towards coaches and how they can coach their people. But what do we say to someone that's not going to work with a coach? That's not going to come work with us or somebody else or whoever, and they're going to walk into it with that emotional, steadfast confidence based in nothing that everyone enters their own weight loss journey with. What could we say to that person if we were able to give ourselves some 30, 40-second little clips? What do you think we would say to that guy?
I would start by saying, take your time. It's a process. And then I would ask him, where's your head at? You want to lose 60 pounds. Okay. How quickly do you think you can lose that 60 pounds?
Get an idea of their expectation.
Exactly. And then through their expectation, design my next move, right? If they say, 10 months, realistically 60 pounds, 10 months. Okay, cool. That's reasonable. Let's break down what you're going to do. What are you going to do for those 10 months? Let's say they say fucking 2 months. Well, okay. Instantly. Boom. We know they're on that emotional ride, right? They're looking for that instant gratification. So then, you channel in a little bit like, well, 2 months might not be enough time, but I think that we can make this, and this step by 2 months. And then you'll be well on your way to losing the 60 pounds, right? I mean, I've had people sit with me, literally. I mean, it drove me crazy. Like, I'll do a consultation. They're like, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds. Great. Love that. Oh, okay. I want to lose it by my birthday. Cool. Love that. We got a goal in place.
When's your birthday?
When's your fucking birthday? Oh, it's in a month and a half. Like, come on.
No.
And this is
I'm going to have to take your leg.
Dude, this is real shit. Yeah, like, this is real. I was like, you want results that quick? Go get a fucking liposuction, and there you go, right? I mean, it's a real thing. People really think... I don't know if they just don't know how the human body works or how the whole design works, or if they just are riding that fucking emotional roller coaster thinking like, oh my God, I didn't get started on time. I'm fat as shit right now, and I'm going to look like a hippo at my own birthday party if I don't lose this weight in a month and a half, right? And so...
It was aggressive. Like, man... Is this person okay?
Well,
like, I gotta give him a hug.
That's how I feel about people when they come to me with that short of time frame. So your question, what I would do is I would first ask them, how does this expected journey go? What does this look like to you? And then based off of their answer, regroup and in a very subtle, gentle way, unlike right now, talk them off.
You're a fucking hippo.
Of expecting so much in so little time.
That makes perfect sense. I like that a lot. I think a lot of that comes from, in grocery stores, you're like waiting to like go check out those magazines like Juice Cleanse and Lose 20 pounds in 14 days.
Bro, you know how many...
I think a lot of...
Do you know how many people actually believe that shit?
A lot of
They
people.
actually fucking believe it. I have somebody specific in my head, not naming anybody, Tyler, but I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
The most non-weight loss focused out of any trainer I've ever met. It's like, no, I don't do weight loss.
Yeah.
Like, really? You're the one.
No, but I have that person in my head, and I'm just like, she really believes that this is how it's done. And it's sad, because it's fear-mongering, and it gets people on board thinking I can succeed with such little output, right? Yeah. I don't have to do much at all. I gotta drink a little fucking drink, and I'm gonna lose the weight? No. Like, you might have diarrhea for a little while, but you're not gonna lose the weight. So it's very real. And so go on with what you were saying with the magazine.
Yeah, no, totally, man. I like it. I mean, I think one thing I would say to people that are more emotion driven going in, it's not your intention that's going to get you where you're going. It's not the desperation of the goal. It's the focus and execution of simple processes applied for time consistently.
Very well said.
That's everything.
It's the small wins, man. It's the itsy bitsy, man, will get you there. It's like one step at a time, and you'll eventually arrive at the destination. And, if you try to take on too much, unfortunately, it's just the long game is the right game in the game.
It gives you the best end product, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's something no one really talks about is the faster you go, the more muscle you lose. So, all right, yeah, you lost the 30 pounds in 2 months. Even if we were able to do that, you look like shit now.
And let me tell you this. When it comes to this exact topic, the small wins, the not the sexy, the boring work, this goes with you everywhere. Fitness Place is the place to learn it, because I'm telling you, it's changed my life. It's changed Ryan's life. I mean, you learn from fitness exactly how life goes, right? In business, it's the small, tiny steps that get you there. And then in about 5 years, you wake up and you're like, holy shit, how did I get here? Well, guess what? All of those small wins have added up and accumulated into the compound effect. Right? And if, by the way, if you want a great book to read, everybody, The Compound Effect, my favorite book of all time. And it is exactly this. It's these small incremental wins that eventually get you to the destination. And then you wake up one day and you're like, God, how did I get here? This is crazy. And it's going to be the same thing with your weight loss journey. One day you're going to wake up and you're going to look and you're going to be like, wow, all of that hard work paid off. And I got to do it without being an emotional wreck.
No celery juice needed. That's Aaron right there.
Yeah, no, keep that shit out. So yeah, I think this focus is so much more than fitness, and it allows.
It really does bleed into everything, doesn't it?
It does.
Like life, fitness. This is probably me putting too much of an emphasis on like what we do and who we are, but I truly do believe being a better athlete makes you better at everything you're going to do. Fitness, family. If you're a faith-held individual, it'll make you better at that.
Couldn't agree more.
Every element of life gets better. And for trainers out there, I might just be putting too much of an emphasis on our profession, but I do think being a better trainer professionally makes you better at everything else that you're going to do in your life, even the non-career oriented stuff.
I agree. It creates discipline. It creates a whole different kind of mental skill set. You know, anybody can learn to write a program. Anybody can get on a treadmill and run or walk or whatever. But it really is about the mental part of it that really enhances you as a person and that you can really take into every aspect of life.
I really want to take that little clip right there and just do some B-roll of me like skipping or like prancing backwards or something. Just
unfortunately, like,
it's like you can walk, you can run, or whatever you're doing.
Where I thought you were gonna go is like people who can't fucking use their legs. So like I thought you were gonna like throw that in my face. I'm like, you can run, you can walk. You're like, not everybody can run or walk.
I actually have a trainer for our interviews that's paralyzed from the waist down, so that's fantastic.
A trainer what?
A trainer for our interviews that we're doing that's paralyzed from the waist down. So yeah, trains people in the gym. Boggles my mind. How?
It's unreal.
Yeah, it's like how do you squat, bro? I need to know. You're clearly better at cueing than I am because I got to show people.
Applaud him. Yeah.
Oh, I know, right? That's 100% better at their craft.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yeah, that takes a different kind of mental.
I'm not that tough for sure. But all right, I think we'll wrap her there, Aaron.
Yeah.
You want to put a bow on this for us on some good recommendations and tips for people going into fear and why it's a bad idea, that jazz?
Yeah, I just think that in this world right now, in the instant gratification social media world, fear is running the show. And so be a person that doesn't run behind it and follow the correct path that is staying at bay, keeping your mind at ease, and doing the boring things that are necessary in order to get yourself to the place that you want to be. Emotion can run wild. Just learn to check that emotion, learn to understand your emotion, and learn to do it anyway. Show up for yourself, show up for the future you that you're trying to become. You know, we look forward to seeing you guys on the other side.